Hello everyone and welcome to our webinar. Our topic for today is dqMan Veeva Vault Edition. During the webinar, I will show you how easy you can administrate your Veeva Vault data and configuration with dqMan Veeva Vault Edition. My name is Vasile Gavrila. I'm Head of Product Development at FME. And regarding the agenda, I will provide a short overview of FME company, an overview on dqMan product, what are your benefits. We'll go through the features we provide in the first version. After that, I'll proceed with the live demo. And after the demo, I will show you the roadmap for the next 2 or 3 versions. FME was founded in 1995 in Braunschweig, Germany. We have now offices in Germany, Romania, and United States. We are more than 300 employees, producing a revenue of 40 million euro. We aim to be the partner for digital transformation in life science, industrial manufacturing, and financial services industries. Our teams are focusing on offering consultancy, technology services, and managed services in the field of enterprise content management, business intelligence, cloud, social collaboration, and custom software development. We also have a business unit that focuses on developing software products. Enterprise content management is one of the most important topics for us, so we have partnership with major ECM vendors. With Veeva, we are certified as technology partner. Let's talk a bit about dqMan Veeva Vault Edition. Some of you may heard about dqMan for Documentum that is in the market for more than 15 years. dqMan for Veeva was developed on the same platform. The idea of having dqMan for Veeva was born from a real need of our services team and our customers. We have another product called Migration Center that is used by our customers and our services team to migrate data from various sources to Veeva Vault. Most of the projects are quite complex and requires intensive work on validating the migration results. Basically, that means checking if the records and their metadata were correctly set in Veeva and meet the business requirements. Veeva Vault comes with a great API and a great query language and data manipulation language. VQL is very similar with SQL, and MDL is very similar with the data manipulation language commands in SQL databases. Our tool comes to enable users with the power of VQL and MDL. Veeva does not provide an easy way to use those 2 features, so dqMan aims to fill this gap. dqMan is basically dedicated to Vault administrator, developers, consultants, and supporters, being a powerful and customizable tool for handling Veeva Vault data and configurations. What are your benefits of using dqMan? Well, by using dqMan, you will improve the productivity of Vault maintenance tasks, reduce the cost of administration through automations, and improve the quality of your data. Besides the flexible license models, we offer periodical updates, enhancements, maintenance, and of course, customer support. Before proceeding with the demo, let's have a quick look on the features we provide in the first version, 23.1, that was released end of June. Well, the starting point of using dqMan is the easy navigation through the document types and objects. Selecting one document type or one object, dqMan will generate a VQL statement that you can use to query the data behind a specific document type or behind an object. But the user can also write his own queries, and therefore we provide contextual help for creating the queries. But we also improved the VQL syntax with some nice features that are supported in most of the databases. So, for example, with dqMan, you can execute select star or select count star that is not natively supported by VQL. Another useful feature is caching the query results. This is very useful for generating aggregating reports by using more more advanced SQL syntax like group by, having, using aggregate functions like max, min, count. They are not natively supported by VQL, but with dqMan you can use them. Caching the result will help saving API requests that are limited in Veeva, and you can also schedule a refresh of a periodic refresh of your data. On the data that results from the query executions, we provide a couple of actions. So you can view and dump the document or object metadata and their relations. You can edit and update the metadata inline in the results grid. You can view the content, edition, and attachment. You can even delete some documents or objects. So, and you can export data to CSV or Excel. We provide also an MDL script editor that comes with a syntax highlight and contextual help. Also, we provide script generation based on templates. And in the next version, we'll provide a way to generate MDL statement from existing objects. There are also some other features that will be covered during the demo. All right, so it's time now to switch to demo. So first thing I need to do after starting dqMan is to log into one of my Veeva Vault. So I use one from the history and proceed with the login. In the left, we have the object navigator tree, where we can navigate through the documents and objects. If we select one object type, for example, regulatory, we have different kind of actions. So we can dump the definition of this type. We'll get a JSON format where we can see all the properties of the type and the fields. yeah, not all those properties, might be exposed in Viva UI, but you can see all of them here. But you can also see them in a table format like this one, and you can also see the relations that applies to a specific type or subtype. Seeing the supported relations is useful because you can use them in joins to get data from multiple document types. All right, so let's go again to regulatory and click on the type. So you will see that a query is generated automatically to to query the data of type regulatory. If we expand regulatory and go to a subtype, let's go to this one maybe. The corresponding query for this subtype is generated. So you only need to run the query to get the results from Veeva. So this the query executes very fast. So you can see the results in the table. Those fields that are generated for a query can be customized for every particular type or subtype. So you can, for example, set your query template and default fields for every particular type. Right now, if nothing is set for a specific type, the query template for the base document is used, like this one. So you see here we have all the fields defined for the query, so you can add more fields or delete the fields that you consider are not important for your use cases. This is the easy way to generate the queries. The same applies to documents. Let's go, for example, to products. Okay, it's running a query for any object or document type is on a single click distance, actually 2 clicks. All right, but as a user, you can generate your queries from the fly. So, for example, you can use, let's delete this query, so we can type the query as we want. So you can choose from the contextual help the types, or otherwise you can use star to query all queryable fields from a document or from a object type. So let's put the product V here and run it, and we will get all the queryable fields of the product. If you want to count how many products, for example, you have, you can just simply count them here and run the query. So we have 163 products in this system, but you can also add the conditions you want for a specific for your data. So for example, if you are want to search a specific record, you can type a where condition, where name v, for example, equal aspirin, and run. So you will get the filtered data as you need. So for example, you can use status v to see what are all active products, active underscore v. Okay, so the query returns all active products. Let's go back to the documents and see what actions do we have for the query results. Let's execute the query. So going to grid, and with right click, you will see what are the available actions here. So you can export entire all the results to a CSV or Excel. Let's export it to Excel. No, not to CSV, maybe to Excel this time. Oops. Export to Excel. It will take a bit, and we have your data exported in Excel. I mean, for CSV, you need to select the location. It will be safe on your disk. I don't save this one. What other actions do we have? We can dump the metadata of a document, so we can see all metadata that belongs to the specific document or object. You can view, for example, the file content. You can just simply export the file content, and it will be opened with the appropriate editor. In our case, this is Word. You can view the renditions, if there are renditions or attachments. And if you want to do more actions with a specific document, you can open this in Veeva. So it opened on the other screen. So I'm logging here, and you can see the document in Veeva. All right. So this document does not have any attachment, but let me query. I have one specific document, so I will filter them by ID. I'll use the ID 518 to view the attachments. So for this particular document, I have multiple attachments, so you can view them. And they are downloaded and opened with the appropriate editor here. All right. Let's go back to the previous query. So in the presentation, I told you that it is possible to update the metadata of files. So for example, if I want to add a title to this document, I will just go in edit mode, pressing F2, and add a title, my title. So title, and this will be published to Veeva. We can prove that by opening to Veeva Vault. So you see the title is now my title. Good. What else you can do with dqMan? So if you click for 2 seconds to the ID, you will go into the object editor. So here you can view the metadata in a table field value. So you can order the attributes alphabetically or by type, because some attributes might be inherited from the super types. And as you can see, the users you can navigate to all references, not only to users, but for example, this document has a product aspirin, so you can get and see what's inside the product. You can see the details about the users and all the other references. So you can easily navigate to the metadata of the documents and objects. You can also, in case you have multiple versions for a document, you can navigate to the document versions. So, all right. In the presentation, I mentioned that we provide extended syntax for using the local table. So I will show you how that works. So I will place the query here. So the following query will query the data of the type regulatory and save the data. By the way, I can format the query. Yeah, this query will save those fields into a local table. So because I have the clause into, this is dqMan proprietary. So all the statements that are dqMan proprietary are marked with a small icon in the left. So let's run this query. And if we go to local tables, we will see that a local table with those fields was created locally. So here I have options to refresh the data manually, or to auto refresh the data, or to load the data in the editor. So now I can simply write my queries on my local tables from local regulatory, right? Why these local tables are useful? They are primarily useful to generate different kind of reports. So you don't need to query data every time from the Veeva. That will consume requests and may take a bit longer. So for example, and more important is that you can use advanced syntax. You can group the data based on different fields. You can use grouping functions like counting or having, and so on. So for example, with this query, I exported I queried the MD5 checksum, so I can identify all duplicates I have in the type regulatory. So let's paste this query and format the query. So as you can see, okay, now I don't need this one again. Good. So with this query, I can group the data on MD5 checksum and count how many documents, how many duplicates I have, how many documents are duplicated, because they are duplicated if they have the same content. So I run this query and I discovered that I have a lot of duplicates here. I mean, in this vault we have only test data, so we imported the same file multiple times. But it may happen also in productive vaults that you have the same document multiple times, so you can identify duplicates and probably clean your vault repository. I also mentioned that you can use joins in the queries. So, for example, Veeva allows using joins based on relations. So, in this particular query, I want to retrieve all documents of type regulatory and subtypes correspondence, but I want to see not only the ID of the product and the ID of the application, but also the name of product and application. So for that, I used this join syntax that is provided by Veeva Vault. So I execute I need to execute entire query. So I will get beside the product ID, I will get also the product names. I only have one document here, but I can, for example, remove this one, and I will get more documents now. Right. Good. You can save your queries to favorites, but since we don't have much time left, I will show you also the MDL section. So MDL stands for metadata definition language. So you can use MDL commands and scripts to create objects in Veeva. So for example, you can use scripts to create pig lists or objects or any other kind of objects that are supported by Veeva. You can here we provide a very useful contextual help. So, for example, let me try to generate or to create the same command on the fly. You can imagine, I mean, without having a good editor, you need to write, I mean, to check the Veeva documentation, check the syntax, and write everything, type every single word. But with dqMan, you can just use the contextual help. So pick list, I mean, it will take a while to cache the data. I will check the pick list, and I will create another FME options, for example, and it will generate. I mean, this will generate the existing command, but will generate the command for existing values, but I will just use another FME other options. C, enter. And other options underscore C, and it will generate the command. Let me fix the typo here. So for an entry, I can I need to put a name for an entry, hello one, for example, and here I have also the contextual help, for example, active view, order, and and value, and so on. Once you have the MDL command created, you can execute it one by one or as a script. So you can, for example, test your command by executing the command. So you get the feedback immediately. If you have a syntax error, for example, if you have a typo here, and try to run this command, you will get an error message that indicates what error do you have in the syntax. In this way, you can create a script, an MDL script containing multiple commands. So this particular script will create or recreate the pick list, will drop an existing object and recreate an object that reference the pick list I have created with the previous command. So you can execute the script really as a script, or send the statement one by one to the MDL endpoint, or you can execute script asynchronous. Executing the script asynchronous is particularly useful when you need to deal with high volume objects. When you have high volume objects, the only way to manipulate them is by executing the script asynchronous. All right, so let's execute it as a script. So all these commands are executed by Veeva Vault, and we get the result, whether it was successful or not. There are some other capabilities, but you can I mean, they are quite obvious, so I don't explain all of them in details. They are documented in the user guide. So if you are interested of trying dqMan, you can discover them by yourself. All right, so now I want to switch back to the presentation and talk a little bit about the feature and enhancements we planned to provide in the next versions. All right, let me show now the roadmap we have for the next two releases. So the current release is 23.1. It was released end of June, so it's available for trial, download and trial on our website. The next release, 23.2, will be provided middle of Q4. So in this release, we want to provide bulk metadata update capabilities, so you can easily update the metadata for multiple documents or objects. Currently, we have a compare data feature in the current version, but we want to enhance that to provide more capabilities, so you can compare data from two different vaults or from a vault and an external source. We also want um, to provide an easy way for handling big list, for example, to bulk create of big list values. And we leave some space for new features and improvements that are requested by our customers. In between Q1 and Q2 next year, we plan to release another version where we provide audit trail functionality for documents and objects. So basically, to an easy way to find the audit trail, find and export the audit trails. We also want to provide an efficient way to work with users, roles, and groups. And again, we'll leave some space for the features and enhancements that are requested by our customers. So if you want to stay in contact with us, you can navigate to our website, dqMan.com. We are also present on LinkedIn and Twitter. The product documentation can be found on docs.dqman.com. For technical support, you can go to our support site, support.dqman.com. For questions about licensing and how you can buy the product, you can go to dqMan site. There is a special section for sales information. And if you want to get in contact with me, feel free to write me on email, v.gavrila@fme.ro. Thank you very much for attending this webinar. It's dqMan you love to work with.